Waiting for my co-host to join. I do believe.
Howdy.
Howdy. I can actually hear you through my earbuds. Oh, my goodness. I like it a lot. How you doing?
I'm good. You?
I'm fantastic. Happy 2020. Happy New Year.
Yes.
I feel like I haven't seen you since, well, it's been a year.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Tall Redhead in here. Appreciate folks coming in.
Yay.
This is the 22nd episode of the Ketovore Kast. We appreciate you all coming out.
Yes, thanks, guys.
So, how you been? How was your new year? What's new with you?
Awesome. What's new is my grandbaby is super mobile now, and Gigi is really glad she's carnivore and has energy because good God. That's all I do all day is chase grandbaby. That's pretty much my life right now. So
that's why you're supposed to be done with that like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're having a good time. Those pictures you posted of her, she's definitely a cutie, and for some reason she likes her crazy Uncle Brett. Who knows?
Yeah, she does kind of like you. Yeah.
There's no accounting for taste. Well, I want to tell you about something. I'm going to brag right from the outset.
All right, go.
Blatant bragging. When let's see, in 2018, let's say end of October 2018, I had a 32-inch waist.
Okay.
And I found out 2 weeks ago, I no longer have a 32-inch waist. I have a 30-inch waist.
Nice.
And I lost this much weight to get it.
Wow.
My weight has stayed the same. 177 to 178 for 15 months.
Nice.
But I lost 2 inches around my belly without losing an ounce. So
I like it. Recomposition, baby.
Take that and stick it in your calories in, calories out mantra. I mean, seriously. Hello, Sarah Jane. And I tell you, I feel incredible.
Awesome.
I mean, those 2 inches, I didn't imagine that. That was not like a goal. I'm going to go out and work off 2 more inches off of me. Sure. I never thought about it. And then my wife and I are like, well, my pants are suddenly, I need a belt. She's like, you're going to wear a belt because that's cheaper than buying a whole new wardrobe. But
go for the whole new wardrobe. I did.
It's just really awesome. And it's not, anybody who does this can experience this. It didn't require, I wasn't at the gym 6 hours a day. I wasn't killing myself. I'm still a musician, for God's sake. I'm never really going to truly kill myself with exercise, but I work hard at what I do. It's available. Anybody can do it.
Absolutely. I need to get with it so bad. Oh gosh. I said, like you always do. Oh, well, this year I'm going to really get with the, working out, and I just can't. And then it's like, with a grandbaby, by the end of the day, I'm like, I am not going to no stupid gym. No, not going to happen. And I'm not getting up any earlier than I get up. I do not like getting up early. I'm just not one of them people. Nope.
I've observed that. And yeah, you could say I have grandpa hours.
Yeah, you got some grandpa hours, seriously.
I don't care. I don't care.
4 o'clock is when I get up to go to the bathroom. I mean, seriously.
That's when I get up to stay up.
I know. That's crazy. No.
No alarm clock is required.
Wow.
Listen, I want to tell you folks in chat, we really appreciate you coming around. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. We'll be happy to answer. We'll stop in the middle of our conversation, whatever we're talking about, to answer your questions. That's one of the reasons why we use this format. So it's World Carnivore Month still.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of new people on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook doing the carnivore thing for the first time.
It's pretty
And
exciting.
if you're in chat and you're doing World Carnivore Month for the first time, let us know. We'd like to see how you're doing. And it's really exciting to see because, you know, this time a year ago, I was like, World Carnivore Month. My God, it's only been 5 months for me. I don't even know what's going on yet. And it's turned into this really exciting thing where you see people taking control of their health in all sorts of new ways.
Yes. That makes me so happy.
Oh,
it's so sad seeing, and today I all over Instagram there's talk about, you know, diabetes and, you know, all that kind of thing, and it just makes me so sad, you know, that people are still suffering and they don't have the correct information. And then those of us who have had our eyes open, we're like going, no. And, you know, we try to help, but because they've been so, you know, hit with, you know, from the government to the ADA to, you know, nutritionists, everyone telling them, you know, the certain advice, and it's killing them. It's just killing them. And they won't change because, you know, you're not an expert. You don't know what you're talking about. So, you know, I'm going to believe this, you know, American Diabetic Association, you know, dietitian or whatever, because they say that that's what's right. And,
And who are you to be coaching anyway? Who are you to be helping other people with these kind of things?
Exactly.
And I want to say hi. We got some other Meet RX coaches in here. I saw Becky and Sarah Jane Hill. However, I can't make sure I got her name right. I think I did. Appreciate you all stopping by. You're right, Tall Redhead. FUD.
Yeah.
It's designed to cause fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's exactly correct. And we see a lot of that in so many ways that even, unfortunately, there's these fringe elements in the carnivore community who are starting to use this with the nonsense about 2 weeks ago it was liver. If you're not eating liver, you're not really carnivore. You're not really healthy. You're not this. You're not that. We know that's a bunch of crap. We know from 10+ year carnivores that don't eat liver, don't eat organ meat because they don't crave it, and they're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Eat the meat you crave at Ketovore. If you want to eat organ meats and you enjoy them,
yay, yes.
But that doesn't make somebody who doesn't eat it any less a member of the carnivore community. And then there's the other new thing that's a big deal is grass-fed animals are treated better. Grass-fed is the more ethical route to go because cows in feedlots have a horrible existence. And I'm just like, first off, you don't know how my cow lived or died in the feedlot. You don't know how long it was in the feedlot. So please stop acting like you know. That's a fallacy. That's not honest. Seriously.
I just had lamb the other day.
Anyway, so real information is helpful.
Yes.
Real results are even better. And I think that's what people are seeing. We're getting better. We're not getting sicker. Are we getting sicker? Tall Redhead, answer this question, dear. Have you seen a video about a 5-year carnivore going, oh man, I got to eat plants again. I'm going to die if I don't. It's not been made yet, has it? All beef is grass-fed most of their life. You're exactly right, Carnivore Chef. Exactly right. And, you know, there's laws about, in the United States especially, about how cattle have to be treated. Tall Redhead says, never. Exactly. Let's see. Carnivore Bar, how you doing? It's good to see you, Phil. I appreciate you coming in. People really need to state that they're making a hypothesis when talking about nutrient density. I won't disagree with that to a degree. I mean, you know, there's unless an exact portion of meat's been tested and measured for, we can't know exactly the full measure of nutrients in it. But yeah, Tall Redhead says nobody goes from carnivore to vegan. Not to my knowledge. I know some people have experimented to try it, and they didn't report positive results. Matter of fact, they reported a loss of bone density.
Whoa.
They got fatter. Their body fat went up. Not a good time. So, Amber, you got this webinar thing going on. You're like a special guest. Why don't you tell everybody about that?
I'm a success story in between like some really awesome speakers. I mean, we've got some good people. It's a Beyond Keto Summit, and I have a lot of it posted on my Instagram, and we can actually put it below the link below this video when we upload it to YouTube. But there's just like some great speakers. It's a virtual summit. So for those who can't attend conferences in person, this is like a really excellent thing. And the guy who's heading it has done a fabulous job, y'all. I'm serious. He has put so much effort and time into this, and good quality speakers. So and you can attend it right online. I can't remember the date now. I should have wrote that down. I want to say it starts like the 29th. I don't
remember.
Or 22nd. 22nd.
See if I can pull it up real quick here.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I meant to write that down. My memory. I'm chasing a 1-year-old. Okay, give me a break.
And you're losing. The 1-year-old is winning the race.
Oh, she's so winning. Yes, so winning.
Well, that's fantastic. And I don't think any of us could tell our stories too many times to too many people. I just don't think it's possible. I think that's how we're going to win this battle that we find ourselves in. There's so many of us, N=1 now. Our health is impossible to ignore. We're not getting sick. We're not keeling over. And we're showing lab work that looks amazing.
Yeah.
We're all supposed to have clogged arteries. Someone saying, Carnivore Fit Mom says carnivore helped her constipation. # no fiber. That's beautiful.
Me too.
And Becky says she knows the struggle of chasing kiddos.
Woo! Especially as a 53-year-old.
That's no right.
Because it's a good thing that this 53-year-old doesn't feel like that. She feels more like a 30-year-old, but still, I'm not 20-ish, Oh, and it's the 29th. The summit is the 29th through the February 2nd.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I want to share that it's not going to be released this day, but on the 14th of February, I'm going to be interviewed by Dr. Brian Linsky's and Dr. Tro from the Low Carb Podcast.
Dr. Tro's going to be in the summit too, by the way.
Oh, yes, he is. And I'm looking, he's a great speaker. Oh my gosh, he's done some videos of him talking. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I love him.
But I'm real excited about being a guest on their podcast. I great respect for them. I've heard some amazing stories. People like Caesar Salad. Oh my gosh. If you want to hear a heartbreaking story of how doctors in the medical system is like, well, let's do the thing that causes the most harm and give her more meds and see how that works.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I took away from her whole story. Carnivore Chef says, my lab work has never been better. My doctor was super surprised. Nice. Awesome. That's fantastic.
I just saw my daughter join, which is really funny. Yeah, I was just talking about Westland, so you missed it. Sorry. I was just talking about how, Gigi's having to chase her all over the place. So, yeah. Just saw her pop up, so I had to say something.
Well, hello, Westland's mom. And you're killing your mother. You know that, don't you? You're killing her. I talked to her on the phone yesterday. She's got the baby on her arm. We're trying to have a conversation to plan our thing tonight. And your mom's like, I don't know if I could carry this baby one more cycle around the house or not. Fortunately, the little child went to sleep and your mother lived. No pressure. Yes. No guilt or anything.
Yeah.
So for World Carnivore Month, have you done any changing around, or have you eliminated anything, added anything, doing anything different?
Well, like we talked about, one thing that I need to seriously cut out, and I'm making tomorrow my last day because then I'm out of my coffee. Yes, I don't normally drink coffee. This is just something that I don't do, normally speaking. But for some reason, when winter comes and the weather gets a little colder, I find some comfort. And I'm not even a cold, it doesn't even really get that cold here, but it's just the whole feel, like the whole pumpkin spice, the peppermint mocha, whatever. It just makes me happy. So it gives me comfort, whatever. So I'll have coffee. Well, it's kind of got a little bit out of control. And I'm like, whoa, what is that? No, that's not good. And then I started adding a little bit of heavy cream, and I'm like, oh no, that's got to stop. So yeah, got to go. So that's gone. Tomorrow, last day, gone. Boom, done. Yeah.
Well, my wife, Carnivory Art Life, she gave up coffee. She's not had any since January 1st. She
Nice.
gave up the cream. She gave up all that stuff.
Nice.
Zero dairy.
Well, no, I will
Tall
not.
Redhead's asking,
No.
will you drink
You know
tea
what I'm going to do
instead?
instead of drinking coffee for that, like, winter comfort feel or whatever, bone broth. That's what I'm substituting until I, get rid of that. Got to have this coffee thing. I don't even know what that's about.
That's what my wife's doing. She's drinking bone broth. Carnivore Chef did ask, when will the low carb podcast be out? I don't know. When it is out, I will be advertising. They will be advertising. You will be made aware. A link will be around for somebody to copy and paste, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not doing anything different. I did make one tiny little change, which to me it's tiny. Other people might think differently. Is I haven't had bone broth in a week. I wanted to.
Why did you do that? Because you were all about the bone broth.
Well, I like the bone broth. It's not that I stopped liking it. I wanted to consume a little less fat and see what happened. And it's been interesting. I've actually slept better without the bone broth than I did when I was drinking it.
Very, very interesting.
Somebody just asked, how do I stay hydrated? I drink water.
What?
I only drink when I'm thirsty.
Water.
That is it. That is all. Do you drink anything else besides water now?
Me?
Yeah.
Or who? Well, coffee, but like I said, that's gone. But pretty much no. I drink water. Okay, yeah. On weekends, I'll have some alcohol here and there. Yeah. Okay, but we don't say that. But for the most part, no. I drink water. I like sparkling water though. I'll have like half of one a day of the LaCroix. I really like the coconut one. So for something different, I'll have that. But for the most part, water. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like I said, bite of the coffee.
I haven't. My wife and son drank some of that LaCroix stuff for a while, but then they stopped doing it. I have no idea why. I didn't trust it, even though it might have been okay for me.
You don't know.
Not worth the risk.
Yeah.
Just not worth the risk. But somebody asked me the other day, "Are you serious? All you do is drink water? Don't you get sick of that?" And I'm like, no.
My husband sure does. He does not like just plain water. I just kind of got used to it. I used to be the same way.
Get a soda stream for him.
Yeah, he doesn't much like that. That might be something I might like though. I might think about
soda stream. Gotta have if you're a carnivore. I'm telling you, the carbonated water. When you're down to just water, anything that you can do. And I love meals. I love it with meals. I mean, it's spectacular. Huh. Let's see. Someone's saying, "Hey, Lisa, who came in named Lisa? Did Dr. Lisa come in? I didn't see if she did." That's cool, Carnivorous Lab Tech. Yesterday was your last coffee day. Enjoy your bone broth. I hope that works well for you. I'm making sure. Okay, I don't know who Lisa was, but okay. Anyway, moving along.
She said, "Yes, I did." Hey.
Hey, Lisa. It's good to see you, my dear. Appreciate you stopping by.
If y'all aren't following her, by the way, y'all should, because she's a wealth of information, honestly.
And she's a 12-year carnivore, I believe. Is it 10? Is it 11 or 12, Lisa? I can't remember. Your answer. Some question is adding lemon or lime to water okay? You want to take that, Amber?
Well, I mean, if that makes something more palatable to you and we're talking a minimal amount and it works for you and you don't have any issues with it, whatever. I mean, I don't really see that it's that big of a deal, honestly. That's my opinion. I personally don't do it I don't know why. It just doesn't appeal to me anymore. I don't know why. But I mean, if that gets you to be able to drink water instead of a Coke or, something else worse, then, hey.
I'll say I agree completely with what Amber just said. I will add, though, that I would not do that, but my circumstances are very different.
Right.
At least a little bit of sugar gets into my system and I become Captain Psycho, and I don't want to be Captain Psycho for any reason. Dr. Lisa is 11 years carnivore. I don't know why I wanted to call her 12, but she's 11 years carnivore. She's a wealth of information.
She really is.
And she's very nice, and she kind of confirms things that we've been saying for quite a while. On carnivore, do I take vitamins? Absolutely not. Meat suffices. I only eat meat, and I only drink water.
I take no supplements.
I do supplement magnesium lotion on my lower extremities to prevent cramps at night. That's it. That's all. I'm not even taking electrolytes. I'm not doing the magnesium drops anymore. I did increase my salt intake.
Yeah,
so
I kind of think of salt as something a little bit different. I mean, yeah, you could think of that as a supplement, I suppose, but,
Well, we got to have it. Our electrical system won't work without it.
Exactly.
And we get a lot, especially since we're using the untreated salts, most of us, the Himalayas, the Redmond,
yes.
The Celtic salt. I prefer the Celtic salt. You like the Redmond. I like the Redmond. It just costs too much for me.
True story.
That's true. But I increase my salt intake. I'll just stick I got a little thing of salt here. I've got little things of salt. What's a big thing of salt, actually? That's Himalayan. And I'll just put a little on my finger. I like to hear it crunch. It's nice.
A lot of people do that.
And since I started doing that, my cramps lessen.
Nice. I don't really do that. I mean, I'll spice my meat, each time I have it, and I use the Redmond seasoning. So there's some good salt in there, but I don't really feel the need to do that. I don't really have any of those issues, but I mean, if I did, I would definitely do that.
And I don't, it's not like, I don't salt my meat heavy. I mean, I never have. I don't salt it any differently. I did a lot of reading, and it seemed like for a lot of people, either cutting salt out or adding more salt solved the cramping issue. So I'm like, well, we'll try the more salt first, and if that doesn't work, oh gosh, the thought of no salt in my food.
Oh, I can't do without spices. I can't even do just salt, honestly. Even when meat is cooking, if it doesn't have spice on it, it kind of gags me. It's really weird. I don't know why. The scent of it just doesn't work for me. And I love meat. It's not, I don't know why. I've been like that since I was very young, especially like hamburger meat. Like a lot of people cook hamburger meat and then spice it after they cook it. Oh, no, I cannot do that. I would be like, bleh, trying to cook it. I don't know why, but
put that salt on there while it's in before it even gets remotely close to hot. Always.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm glad. Tall Redhead says that my wife got her on the Celtic sea salt. I like it. I really do. It's got a buttery, creamy kind of.
I don't think I've tried it. I mean,
give it a whirl. It won't hurt you.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper than the Redmond. I know that. Oh my goodness. How's the coaching been? We've had some we're both Meat RX carnivore coaches. We've had some coaches come in. Dr. Lisa's a coach. Becky's a coach. Sarah Jane Hill is a coach. I don't know if she's still in here or not. And I'm enjoying it immensely.
Me too. It's really cool to be able to work with somebody one-on-one and, kind of get to know them too. It's so much more personal. I mean, I'm happy to answer questions and stuff on social media or whatever, email, whatever, but there's something really cool about the one-on-one and trying to help somebody with their very specific, questions or if they need support or whatever it is and it gets all done right then and it's very rewarding. I mean, I love helping people, and I did not do that for to try to make a bunch of bucks or something doing that, being some kind of whatever that I wanted to help people, and I just thought that that's a really cool way to be able to. I'm a yapper and I like talking to people and I like getting to know people. I like people. So, for me, it's extremely rewarding. I'm loving it. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's definitely the most rewarding work I've ever done. It's
Yeah.
to hear people or we do the video conference with a lot of our clients and to see the light go off in their head when you explain something to them that they've never really grasped before correctly or maybe never heard before. And you're like, ooh. And you see the understanding come over them and they're like, I never thought of that. You're right. Whatever the issue is,
Or the concern fade away, like that, this concern, this, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, okay, now I'm good with it. Okay. And that's kind of a cool feeling. Yeah.
And to hear the hope, to hear them get excited. Okay, I'm ready. I think I got it now. I think this is going to be fine. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to check back with you in 30 days and let you know how it's going. I've got one of those tomorrow, matter of fact. A client checking back with me for 30 days. Sarah Jane Hill said, same here, helping people experience the health benefits that we have had. Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yes. And that's why we do what we do. We just want everybody to have the same experience as we've had or, similar one and reap the benefits like we have, especially when they've tried everything else and nothing is working. It's just very exciting to be able to share that with other people and maybe help them. So
I always say I want everybody to feel at least as good as I do.
Me too.
If you could feel better than me, I want to learn from you how to do it.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously, because I feel incredible. I mean, legitimately, awesomely incredible every day without fail.
And it feels so hopeful. Like if you're somebody like me who has struggled for so many years, 40 years, people, 40 years, I've struggled. And always in the back of my mind, I always knew that it wasn't going to work. I already knew that. Even though I was excited and I tried to be positive and all that, I knew in the back of my mind. And I don't have that this time. I don't have that in the back of my mind going, this really isn't going to work. You're just kind of, lip service. No. I honestly feel good. And I feel like this is something that is, huge. And, that's why we want to get this out there because there's so many others trying to keep it quiet and don't want you, spreading that because heaven forbid if we get healthy. Heaven forbid we can take health in our own hands and figure it out. Oh, no. Can't be doing that. We have to have our experts. We have to have our drugs. Yeah.
Okay, we've got Kevin Boat saying, hey guys, I've been keto for 3 years, wonderful results, and made HDL in the upper 40s to low 50s, but after 2 months on carnivore, the HDL was at 35. Just my body's reaction to just meat? It's the question. Probably a combination of a number of things. How long have you been just eating carnivore? How long have you just been eating meat? Are you just eating meat? Are you eating till you're not another bite full? These are questions that play a role into this. I can't say for certain why your HDL was at 35. I wouldn't worry about it. I would mostly say how you feel is what's important versus
for sure
a number on a lab report, because those are tools. They're not real. If you were suffering an issue, then lab results would be good to go to. But if you're feeling amazing, who cares what the numbers are?
And look up Dave Feldman. because he talks about how depending on what you ate that week or what right before or what you did, it can seriously skew the results because you can, the very next week take the test and it would be completely different. So keep that in mind too. But go look him up, Dave Feldman. He's excellent. He's done
Mm-hmm.
so much research on that. So
Yeah,
he's a
Dr.
great
Lisa
resource.
makes a good point that it's probably too soon to be even doing blood work.
Yep.
It was over a year before I had any done. And the only reason I got blood work done was because somebody else was curious enough to pay for the test. That's how much I don't care about what my lab work says. Yeah, Dave Keto. That's Dave Feldman. He's the dude.
Yes.
What a genius of a man.
He really is. And he's not a doctor. He's not a nutritionist, anything like that. He's an engineer, I think?
Yeah, he's an engineer.
But he did basically what we do. We research. And then he started experimenting with his own self. And he's compiled so much information from other people who were willing to, experiment and do things. And he just kind of has learn and put all that information out there. So he's a wealth of information, and he's not even a doctor. Nope.
Thanks for coming by, Becky. Have a great night. Yeah, you need to fast 12. You need to fast 12 hours before you have blood work done, and which I did to my detriment. Oh, and
Qatar. Oh, wow.
That's great.
Hey.
Let's see. Hi from Qatar. Gary Fitness says, hi from Qatar. Hey, Lone Star Gal, are you sitting on the toilet? No, I don't think she is.
No. See, here's my chair.
I hope not.
Yeah.
You better not be on the porta potty. Somebody will find out and report you to the Podcast Association, and you know what happens then.
Oh.
Just being silly. Okay, guys, don't forget, if you got questions, don't hesitate to ask. We appreciate you all hanging out with us tonight. This will be up. Somebody saying hello from Miami. Hi. This is going to be uploaded to the Ketovore Kast YouTube channel. Carnivore Chef is saying her transition from keto took 90 days. Only after then did they really start to see the full benefits. That's common. Mm-hmm. That's very common. It takes a lot of people 90 days to just get fat adapted.
Oh, yes.
And for me, it took 5 months to get fully fat adapted.
Even if you were keto for years, there's something still that happens. And, it took me a little while. I mean, I didn't have any problems transitioning, but I could tell that it took a little while to kind of, feel the full benefits.
Okay, we're having video issues.
Uh-oh.
Okay, now you're back. Good.
Okay.
I got scared for a minute. It got silent, and you weren't moving, and I was like, oh, no, not one of those. One of the questions we get asked a lot is, should I be This goes back to World Carnivore Month. It's kind of one of the newbie kind of things I want to touch on. What should I exercise? I've just started carnivore. Should I keep exercising? What should I do? And I always recommend the first 6 weeks, dial the exercise back. Take it easy. Your body's undergoing a major change. You're converting from being a sugar burner, essentially, into a fat burner. And that can be a little uncomfortable in the first few weeks. So don't add any more stress to your body.
Unless you're like you were keto and you were already fat adapted, then you probably are okay. You may just need to, adjust a little bit. But yeah, if you're going from, high carb to no carb, oh yeah, you're going to be a world of hurt trying to work out the same.
And here's an issue, a question touching on a subject that we haven't waxed eloquent on for quite a while.
Oh, geez.
Not just because of the New Year's break and everything. What are your thoughts on fasting more than 12 hours? Needed or optional? Go ahead.
Okay, well, I've always been a big fan of fasting. I was OMAD when I was keto for a good year, and I did some extended fast, no more than 72 hours. But it was a game changer for me, and I loved it, and I had no issue with it. However, when I transitioned to carnivore, I found that I was hungrier, and for a while, it didn't last for too terribly long, but I found I had to have 2 meals. And I kind of have come to understand that you really need to listen to your body and let your body do what it needs to do while it's in the healing process. And maybe eventually after, you do your transitioning and you feel like your hunger is kind of subsiding and you just don't really care to eat, fine. But I don't eat breakfast, but it's just because I'm not hungry. It's not because I'm going, oh, I can't eat from this time to this time. I don't intentionally do it anymore. And I don't think that's needed when you're on carnivore, honestly. I think if you just listen to your body and do what it needs to do, you're fine. And if you're not hungry, fine, don't eat, but don't set a clock. I mean, if you want to go for it and try it, okay, fine, but if you find yourself really hungry, don't starve yourself, because especially during the adaptation phase, because I think it's really important to allow your body to do what it needs to do and heal and all that, because your body is asking for the nutrients that it's been denied for so long, or at least I know in my case it was. But yeah, so I don't think it's needed. But if you naturally do it, fine. But I kind of really don't call it intermittent fasting because I'm not doing it purposely. So,
I'm in a completely different situation than Amber. I cannot fast. For me, meat is not just my fuel, it's my medicine. And if I don't have my medicine on time, there's consequences. For instance, in November of last year, when I did a 12-hour fast for blood work, I was like 2 days getting back to my version of normal. It definitely messed with me. And I had to give up a job last year because I couldn't eat when I was hungry. And after just 2 weeks of doing that job, some of my crazy symptoms came back. And I don't mean the depression. No, depression's never come back. It's the psychotic, the crazy, the not being able to comprehend what somebody's saying to me and to respond back appropriately. Those kinds of things come back. So I don't fool with fasting. I recommend if you're going to do fasting, make sure you've been fat adapted for at least a year first, because you don't want to hurt yourself. And I'll be honest with you, we know Amber O'Hearn's given some great talks and written some great essays on the fact that you can get a lot of the autophagy benefits just from the carnivore diet and being in ketosis. So you don't have to starve yourself, deny yourself nutrition to accomplish those goals.
Yeah, I think there's a problem when you are deliberately, starving yourself. Just listen to your body. That's it's so easy. That's what makes carnivore so easy. You don't have an app. You don't have to, plug in, oh, this is a 18-hour fast. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to count your macros. You don't have to, measure and, count your calories. You literally are going by what your body is telling you that you need. So,
It's great. That's right. Melanie asks the question, how much salt do you take on an average day of carnivore? I measure nothing except the amount of the weight of the meat we eat, so that we don't waste any. That's all I measure. I don't measure how much salt. I couldn't tell you. I salt my meat to taste. And I munch on salt. I just really, that's it. That's all. And that's what I recommend. Don't worry about measuring. The carnivore way of eating is deliberately to be worry-free.
And it's so liberating, I'll be honest with you. I really did enjoy keto. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed making all the recipes, and I enjoyed, even for a while, it was fun to calculate and try to, figure out, oh, get my macros just perfect and all that. And it was kind of fun for a while, but then it got really tiring. And so for me, carnivore is so liberating. I don't have to make side dishes. I don't have to, count anything. I don't weigh anything. Occasionally I'll weigh my meat just because I'm kind of curious to see, how close I get to guessing and, silly stuff like that. But other than that, I don't count or measure anything either, and I don't really worry about it. I spice my meat liberally because I like spice. I do like that. But I personally don't need extra salt, but I'm not, out there exercising and killing myself and losing a lot of sweat and stuff like that. So, I don't have that issue. So I definitely don't measure my salt.
Carnivore Chef asks, how big will the carnivore movement get?
Hopefully huge.
I think in 10 years, the carnivore movement, the carnivore way of eating will be considered it won't be a fad anymore. It will be something on the weird fringes of human nutrition science. It will be an acceptable, viable option for people to consider. It will be talked about at your doctor's office. They're going to have to, because they can't ignore us forever. There's more and more of us. Stop and think for a minute. Michaela Peterson and her dad in 2018 explained to me and my family about this way of eating. And it affected 3 people directly, but through me and through my wife and through you, Amber, there have been hundreds of people helped.
Wow.
Hundreds of people have been made aware of this way of eating that would never have known, just through you and me.
Yeah.
And we're like peons in all of this. We're nobody special. We're just doing what we do because we believe in it and we love it so much. But that's why I made a list of things I've learned in the last 18 months, because today's my 18-month anniversary. 18 months today. I've been eating nothing but animal source foods.
Nice.
0 regrets, 0 complaints, 0 problems.
Yep.
Except they raised the price on bacon a couple of weeks ago, and it really annoyed me.
Rude.
Bastards!
Yeah, I think, we are going to have a fight on our hands because, the status quo is to go, more vegetarian, plant-based. And, there's some big players out there, and they have a hold of the media. They have, especially social media. Oh my goodness. I've been already censored on Facebook because I posted something that an independent fact checker decided was false and put this nasty little note on my post. And I'm like, censorship much? Really? Who are you to decide what's, who is this individual fact checker? And they were saying that it's all fine in moderation. Moderation. Can you define that for me? Exactly how much of a poison is moderately okay to consume? I don't know. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of that, and it's getting huge. So we're going to get more and more pushback. So we have to be more and more out there. So I hope Brett's right. I hope this does explode and it becomes more viable. I mean, look how long it's been for just low carb to kind of, sort of, in a way, kind of be acceptable.
And now we see, organizations like I can't remember which diabetes organization it is, said that low carb, finally, I think it was the American Diabetes Association, finally said that low carb is a viable option.
Yes.
Finally.
It's kind of like over here, but yeah.
If you must, this is okay for you.
Yeah. They had no choice. They kind of had to start kind of adding that in because it's just sensible and the information is getting out there and more people are questioning them. So they're being called on it, I think. And so they have to put a little something out there to kind of start walking their way back a little.
But this fact-checking thing is really disturbing to me because
it is.
Fact-checking according to whose standard?
Exactly.
I mean, according to a plant-based ideology, let's say.
Exactly.
Maybe something that's specifically designed to help sell more big food and big pharma products. Maybe, perhaps.
Yeah.
You know, with the same information that our very existence proves is at best questionable.
Yeah.
Because stop and think about it for a minute. And thank you, Dr. Lisa and Melanie, for that kindness there. 18 months and a lifetime to go. You know, this fact-checking is really nothing more than another way to push propaganda onto people.
Oh, yeah.
As
absolutely.
Fact.
Exactly. And guess what it was about?
Tell me.
Beyond meat.
Oh, please. Soylent slop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
perfectly fine in moderation. Okay? Perfectly fine.
Yeah, if you want to contract metabolic issues and you know, tear your system up and throw your hormones completely out of whack and cause yourself an unusual amount of inflammation, yeah, go ahead and eat those things.
But it's okay moderately because the independent fact checker said so.
Yeah. I got something for those fact checkers, believe me.
Yeah, me too.
Because listen, that's why I don't argue the science. I don't argue about the numbers. Explain why I'm thriving. If what you're saying is so factually correct, why am I thriving? Why am I happy every day? Why do I at 58 have the libido of a 20-year-old?
And you went there.
Yeah, of course I went there, because it's important. Believe me, talk to somebody who lost their libido and got it back at our age. They're really emphatic about it, I swear, and for good reason. My point is, why aren't they asking questions? Real science questions everything, but these fact checkers question nothing. These people pushing these plant-based agendas question nothing. They are always telling us what's happening to us when they've never met us. They've never examined us. They've not seen our medical records. They've not even had a conversation with us. But they know us. They know what's wrong. They know what eating meat's really doing to us.
Oh, well, yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I got that notification and I'm like, what? Really? I need to know what the criteria is to be a fact checker. I mean, that really disturbs me.
And I think that's one of the reasons, another reason why Sean Baker is such a visionary. He's foreseen a lot of this.
Yep.
And he set up MeatRx to get away from the censorship, to get away from the fake news, to get away from this, well, we'll just deplatform your ass if you don't go along with us nonsense, so that people can talk about these things, so that we can learn from each other. I think that's somebody asked about the carnivore community. I think the fact that the carnivore community learns from itself is one of its biggest positives, and it's one of the reasons why big food, big pharma will never squash us. They can't eliminate us.
No, they're going to try.
They're going to fail. I mean, look at what's happened. Look at what's happening now. How many more people do you know, Amber, that are interested in carnivore than you? I mean, I know more people interested in carnivore now than ever before. I mean, like by a lot, not just a couple of dozen. I'm talking about hundreds of people.
I get more and more messages every day, more and more, asking questions, wanting to know what the deal is and, you know, how to implement it and et cetera. So, yeah. When I first started, every once in a while. Now I get a lot daily. Not Sean Baker a lot, of course, but, you know, for my standards, it's a lot.
I sympathize just based on the number of questions that I get on a daily basis. And like, you know, And that's a pittance compared to what he gets asked. And I have a hard time finding time to fit it all in.
I know. Me too.
But it's a wonderful problem to have, to be able to help people.
Yes.
To be able to explain, you're not broken. You're not a genetic freak. There's not something obscenely wrong with you. You're not a bad human being.
And you can do something most of the time, or at least improve. You may not be able to completely get rid of something that you're worried about or whatever, but it can improve it.
I agree, vastly, because we see it across the board all the time across social media. New people trying low carb, new people trying keto, new people trying carnivore, and they're getting benefits.
Yeah.
The low carb folks are losing weight. They're clearing a lot of their symptoms and putting some problems to bed entirely. And you're living proof of what keto could do for somebody, because you were on keto for 2 years before you went carnivore.
Sure was. Yep.
And
Best thing I ever did.
You transformed your life immensely.
I did.
Tall Redhead asks, best tips for staying on the wagon. Only put meat into this organ. That's all you put into there, and you will stay on the wagon. If you put anything else but meat in there, like sweets, sweet taste, bread, grains, sugar, fruit, plants, sweet potatoes, you're going to have problems. You're just going to have them.
You gotta give your body a chance to adjust. I think that was one of the biggest eye openers for me within, honestly, a week of being on keto. Really and truly, it was the first week, and I realized how different it was, because I wasn't starving and I wasn't craving, which is so bizarre to me, because I spent my life doing that. So if you just give it a chance, it's going to take longer for some people. I don't know why it worked that way for me. I have no clue. Other people, it may take months to be able to, just have patience and let it work for you. You may have to struggle at first. Some people do, especially if they're serious carb sugar addicts. You just gotta stay with it and just give it a really, really, really good chance. And then it does the work for you. You don't have to rely on willpower. You don't have to worry about all of that, because you just don't really care anymore. That's the biggest thing with me, is that, I look at something that I used to love and I'm like, yeah, that looks good, but I don't really care, So you've got to give it a chance. You've got to.
I think that's you made this really nice infographic the other day about how you can tell somebody's been carnivore for a while. And one of the things is that you can be around other people eating foods that you used to love, and you got zero interest whatsoever.
Yep. And I look at it and I admit it looks good, it smells good, whatever, but I don't care. I don't need to eat it. I'm not, tempted. And that is so liberating. And I promise it is so worth it to give your full effort for a short period of your life to be able to enjoy the liberation the rest of your life. That's the way you got to look at it, I think, is, if you want to call it pain, whatever, it's a very short term. I promise, if you just stick with it.
Well, it's like I had loose stool for 5 months, but I didn't care because I wasn't depressed anymore. Are you serious?
Right.
If it means I gotta start having loose stool again to not be depressed now, I'll take it. To not be depressed? Are you serious? My 6 for Life says today is day 2 for me. Very good. Appreciate you stopping by. Day 2 was a long time ago, but it's just as important as any other day that you'll do this. Just eat your meat, drink your water, and trust your body to know what to do with the nutrition you're consuming. And my 6 for Life also says that when they eat meat, they can only eat so much and they get nauseous. But they're not giving up. They're listening to their body. And that's exactly the right attitude.
Yep.
Congratulations on that. That's exactly
And
the
when you're
right
not
attitude.
used to it, I mean, it does take a little bit of time to get used to. I wasn't used to eating a lot of meat. I only had steaks, maybe a couple of times a year. I'd have ground hamburger here and there for different things, but for the most part, I eat chicken. So, going straight to red meat, I mean, I really didn't have a problem, but, it does take a little bit of adjustment because, you're probably not used to it. Or for those who are not used to eating fat and you're eating fattier meats, that could be a little bit of an issue for a while. But most of the time, for most people, that just kind of goes away. So listen to your body. And when you need to stop, stop.
Listen, we're down to our last 5 minutes here.
Whoa.
I've enjoyed this immensely as always.
Yeah.
We're going to try to be back on our bi-weekly schedule again now that the holidays are over and everybody's life is sort of kind of returning to normal, at least on paper. Thank you, Carnivore Chef. That's very sweet of you to say. We're doing the best we can. We want everybody to be healthy because everybody deserves to be healthy. You really do.
Absolutely.
You just need to know, only put human absorbable food in your mouth. Don't put garbage in there.
And life is fun when you're healthy. Let me
Oh
tell
my
you,
gosh.
it opens up a whole new world. We go dancing every weekend, and it is so fun. I mean, it just opens a whole new world to be healthy, and I never really understood that until I was healthy. What a concept.
I genuinely believe that it's very difficult to experience genuine day-to-day happiness if you're inflamed.
Absolutely.
I think inflammation is the greatest malfunction a human body can experience, even though it's extremely important because inflammation is the body's red alert system saying, there's a problem.
Absolutely.
You put too
Don't
much crap in here. Well, listen, we got to wrap this up. Thank you all so much for your questions. We appreciate it this is going to be uploaded to the Ketovore Kast YouTube channel over the next 48 hours or less. And of course, it'll be here on Instagram on my thing for another 24 hours. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Absolutely.
Do the things you need to do, my friends, to take care of you. And always remember, you've got something to be thankful for.
Absolutely. Thank y'all.
Have a great night.
Bye.